So today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, and that is moon, and to be specific, new moon. So tomorrow is 19th of May 2023, and we have the new moon in Taurus. Now, what does that mean to us, and what does moon mean in Vedic astrology, and even in Western astrology? Why moon is given so much importance? We'll be talking about all of that. Now, we all know that I think I've spoken about this also in the earlier videos, that moon is all about the mind. The mind, which is the conscious as well as the subconscious mind. Now, when you talk about moon in astrology, we know moon is called Chandrama. So, moon is given importance because moon refer to the mother aspect of us, the feminine aspect of us. So whenever we see anything related to mother or the feminine aspect or the mental aspect, we go and look at the moon reference in the chart. So that is what the importance of mother in moon in astrology is. Now, we know that we are 72% of water, and we know when we are inside the womb we are surrounded by water. Now, when we are attached to a mother physically, it's in the water that we are, right? And also, if we see the ocean, which is the most important part of earth and the most important, so again 70% of water. So all of these, because we know, right, in nature everything happens or occurs and exists in patterns. So whatever happens at the cosmic levels, the similar things we find in a miniature versions in our body as well as our surroundings. So everywhere the same pattern remains the same, but the scale keeps changing. Now, new moon. What is new moon? So we know that new moon means nothingness, right? There is no moon in the sky. So when there is nothing in the sky, that means the sky is empty. Now we know that anything which is empty means there is possibility of having a new thing, right? Now, that is one thing. Another thing is that when there is nothing in the present, there are things from the past which will resurface. So these are the two main things which are like the key words for the new moon. So one is that the old patterns, again coming back to the physical body. We know in Ayurveda and even in allopathy, you must have heard sometimes that the body needs to detox. So hence we have cold, cough, and sometimes dysenteries. So all of these are basically body's way of detoxifying itself, right? So and I'm going out of the topic, but that's the time when we should let it release things which are not good for our body. And body knows, if body is very intelligent, it knows how to do that, and it detoxify the body in a particular way. But we take allopathic medicines and we suppress those things, and hence again we get into the cycle of diseases. The similar way, what happens is that during the new moon, if you have certain patterns which you are ready to release, you will see that them reappearing. So it's like 1 week before the new moon and 1 week after the new moon are the times, if there is anything in your mental zone or in the subconscious which needs to be released, because you are practically ready to release that thing, it will resurface in your psyche and your system. So we keep getting triggers all the time, right? But uh, specifically, if you're conscious and you just start watching and you just start observing that 1 week before and 1 week after, if you see that there are certain things which are resurfacing again and again, just be conscious that it's time for you now to release it. Now, uh, what happens when these triggers appear in front of us? In general, what we do is we find distraction, because we're not very good with uh, dealing with our triggers. uh, we've been taught in such a way that right from our childhood that whenever certain things come up in our surroundings, in and out, uh, we've been very good in suppressing them, whereas we are supposed to deal with them, release them, but we keep accumulating them. So to break that cycle or that pattern, basically what we need to do is we need to release that. So uh, how do you release them, right? Now, because moon is related to water, that we already know. uh, Moon, water, emotional state, mental state, subconscious, all of these are water element, right? And we see it, right? That moon affects the ocean and the tides. So it's a very clear logical system which is shown to us so that we understand. These are all coming up from the ancient wisdom. So our sages were very, very, very intelligent, and they had cracked this idea of how the cosmic system works, and how can we benefit from the cosmic. How can we learn from something which is happening in the cosmic system? Because the same things are happening in our body and our surroundings. But with time, we had forgotten all of this. And in this new age time, it is very important that we go back to these ancient knowledge and we use them for our benefit, because these were created, these were made so that we make our life easy. uh, Instead, we push these things in the name of superstitions, and whereas this was just a part of the lifestyle, that every day we could just use these cosmic energies for our benefit. So now, coming back to how do you release what is resurfacing on in your psyche in this time. Now, because it is element of water, so what how can we release is by using water. So crying, letting out tears is, if you really understand, and again I'll be talking about this in karma also, that when you cry, you must have seen a lot of elderly people, even young people, or even us, sometime when we are so full of something, we just want to bust into tears, right? And uh, and if you are good with crying, you would know that once you release it, it's out of your system. But there are a lot of people, and especially men, who are not good in crying, because we've been told that crying is for weak person, and nowadays even females are doing the same, right? uh, Again, that's another topic, but for now, um, let's stick to new moon. So crying is one of the ways through which you can release your traumas, you can release your karma, you can release whatever is pent up in yourself, in your inside, right? The energy which needs to be released, and you're not letting release it, it is stored in your various body parts. Now you can go back to my video where I was talking about the physical body and how important is the physical body. There I speak about that traumas and emotions which are stored in our body create certain pain in certain parts of our body. Now, based on what trauma and how it is, you can release it, and so that's another way. The second way would be drinking a lot of water. This is the time, uh, because it's all about water. So the lesser the water we'll have, you might have seen that people who have mental issues, they are told to have a lot of water, because water element shouldn't be less in you. So drinking a lot of water is very important during these times. Now, another thing, very important thing. I think I've already spoken about it, but please, please, please don't go towards the toxic positivity by saying that no, I don't want to deal with this. This is all good. There's all good. Nothing is wrong. That will lead you to again continuing the same pattern which you've been already doing. So instead of doing that, please release it, right? And once you release it, uh, it might happen that it might not go in one way one time, right? You might have to do it again. You might see, I mean to say, you might see that you're working on some trauma or something that has been a trigger in your life for a while, and there'll come a time that you'll feel that you've released it completely, and after some time you again feel the same pattern and the same cycle reoccurring in your life. Now that happens because human body is very very intelligent. Sometimes a trauma is so heavy that it doesn't get released in one go, so you might have to do it twice or thrice. But the trick is just to, whenever something resurfaces, just release it, right? So yeah, that is one aspect of new moon. The another aspect to new moon is the emptiness. When you empty something, you can invite new things in your life, right? So setting up new goals, setting up new intentions, setting up new lifestyle, setting up new discipline, setting up new habit, new relationships, new thing, anything that you want to invite in your life, this is the best time to do so. Now tomorrow is a new moon, and if you can continue anything which you're trying tomorrow, continue for a week. So do it for 7 days or for 21 days, and you'll see that that will become kind of a habit for you. So now, why am I saying that you need to do this? Because see, we know that whatever happens in the cosmos, the same patterns and same things are happening in our lives and our surroundings also. So the universe is full of new energy this at this time of the month. So if you work with the universe or the energies, it'll be rapid as compared to when you're doing this thing in the other times. So it's just that you're aligning yourself with the cosmos, as simple as that, right? Now other than that, people who've gone through bigger issues or bigger trauma, or who have moon placement in their chart which is not that good, they are affected by the moon, a new moon, more, because a lot of traumas which they don't even know. Whether you believe, I keep saying that whether you believe in reincarnation or not, so if you have traumas from this life or past life, they will resurface. Why they resurface? Because basically we need to clean our system, and just the way we clean our physical body, we need to clean our energetic bodies also, body also. So for doing that, we have to face whatever has been there and release it. So yeah, that is about new moon and about the releasing aspect. Now the last part is, I don't want to make this part of this video, but still I'll just give my bit, I'll just speak a bit about it. So this is also a great time because for the esoteric basically. So because the subconscious is very very active in this time. So if you are working with something where you were working with the subconscious, this is the best time. So people who are into astrology, people who are into tarot, people who are into meditation, people who are into anything related to subconscious, this is an excellent time to work with all those tools. uh, the esoteric part I will maybe speak about some other day. But what I was more important was importantly talk about was what is new moon and how and why we can use it. Now, this particular new moon specifically is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is a earth sign. So it's a combination of water element, which is very emotional and very related to emotional aspect, and Taurus being the earthy earth and grounding sign. Anything which you want to any desire you have which you want to ground, anything that you want to something that you've been thinking about, any practice, any habit which you have been thinking that you'll start, please do write about it, maybe tomorrow and for the coming 7 days. Because anything that you want to ground, any new habit, new intention, it is a beautiful time for that. So yeah, that is another thing. The last thing is that Taurus moon also talks about new possibilities and finding your own potential. So all of this, you can work with all of this also. And yeah, so this is all about new moon. I hope this was useful. Thank you so much. Good night.